Hey, what's up? Ryan here from Refer, and today I've got an awesome tip when it comes to using generative AI at work. And I'll be honest, this is actually one of my most important ones. And the reason why ask what you need to know is such an important rule is because it makes up for a lot of really bad prompting. Meaning, if you're not very good at this, if you haven't done it a lot, if you haven't used it a lot, I'm going to actually give you this plus a bonus on this video, is the most important, most powerful thing you can do. And so here's what it is. When you have given it a prompt, when you've given it a project, when you've told it what you're working on, and it spits back out a result, and you look at that and say, that's not exactly what I want, follow up with this one prompt. The prompt or the request or the chat, whatever you want to call it, the message to ChatGPT is, what would you need to know in order to fill in the blank? Okay, so what would you need to know to make this better, to make it more engaging, to make it more about us, to make it more representative of the situation? What would you need to know to make this sound more like me? What would you need to know to make this resume more like a better fit for this job? What would you need to know to make this email more accurate, more correct, more engaging, more compelling, more like our company? What would you need to know to make this job ad sound like our company? That question, what would you need to know, is going to result in ChatGPT giving you back an entire list of questions. It is actually crazy powerful. In fact, stop what you're doing right now, go over to one of your threads that you've been working on, and just say, okay, based off this result, what do I wish it was more of, right? What do I wish it was more of? And then type, what would you need to know to make this more, and then put that in there, right? Immediately you're going to get back an entire list of questions. Well, I would need to know the name of your company and your website and what do you do. I would need to know what your culture's like. So if this was a job description and I just got done saying, write this job description for an HR job at a tech company, and it came back and I went, I mean, it is, but it's kind of boring and it's not exactly accurate and it's not exactly about us and it's not really like us. Okay, cool. There's me 4 things. Hey, ChatGPT, what would you need to know to make this more like us, sound more like us, sound more engaging, sound more compelling? What would you need to know to make this more accurate based off of our situation? What would you need to know to fill in the blank? It will give you an entire list of questions that it needs to know. Now this brings us to step number 2. Talk, don't type. I have an entire video on this, but talk, don't type. What I mean by that is once it gives you back those questions, if you're on the phone app or you're on the Mac app, especially if you're a Plus account user, there's a little tiny microphone icon. Click on the microphone and talk your answers to it. Now, if you don't have a Mac or an iPhone, or if you're on a free account and it doesn't have that microphone, there's another workaround, which you should do anyway, which is go get otter.ai. You can go and download it at go.refer.io/otterai. I believe that one will give you free access to the free version. If you want a better pro version, you can get a free trial at go.refer.io/otter. Anyway, go get Otter. Now, here's the 3 use cases for Otter of how you're going to do this. So imagine, back to our example, I just got that job description. I said, hey, it doesn't really sound like us. It's not perfect. It's not right, whatever the case may be. And I gave it the question, what would you need to know to make this more accurate for our given situation? And it gave me back an entire list of answers. So step number 1, I could use the voice prompt on ChatGPT, right? Option number 2, I could click Otter on my app right here and I could talk to it and answer all those questions. Then I could copy and paste the text and put it back in. I use my phone app a lot, but I could also do it on the computer, hit the voice text, talk through all the answers to questions. When it's done, copy it, paste it back in and say, here's your answers, and paste in that big blob of text. Don't worry about formatting it and cleaning it up. It doesn't matter. It's going to go through that. And so copy and paste that in. Now, what's another version? Well, if I was an HR person and I'm trying to make this sales job more accurate, well, I probably need somebody else's input. I can take my phone, I can set it down on the desk, and I can say, hey, sales manager, ChatGPT needs to know the answers to these questions, so let's talk about it. I could hop on Zoom, Otter would sign in for me and do the same thing and pull that transcript and give it back. Those 2 hacks, what do you need to know? Okay, here are the answers, and especially if you voice those out, you will end up giving it back massive amounts of context, and I guarantee you the very next result it sends back to you will be massively improved compared to what you had before. With just those 2 simple steps. What do you need to know? Here's your answers. Now rewrite it. What do you need to know? Here's your answers. Now do it again. What would you need to know? Now here's your answers. Now do it again. And that process of looping that conversation, ask it what it needs to know, use your voice to record the answer, give it back to it, now instruct it to try it again, will massively change the results you get from ChatGPT. This one video should give you a 5 times increase in the quality of your work that you're doing using this tool. It may take you a little longer than that prompt you bought off of TikTok, but you're actually going to get to the right answer faster. So thanks so much for watching today. Now take a second, please go hit subscribe. Go subscribe to our channel. We put out so much content right now about this that I really believe you're going to want to get notified first. Number 2, go leave me a comment. Just tell me you love it. Tell me you hate it. Tell me something. Act like somebody's listening out there. Number 3, maybe share it with a friend. Throw it across the water cooler to one of your friends. Say, go check this out. This is a really cool approach. But especially, go use it and try it and tell me how it worked. Anyway, so excited to give you more tips and tricks about ChatGPT. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon.